Dancing with the Stars drama ignites as former contestant, gold medalist Hope Solo accuses her one-time dance partner of battery. We've got Max's response. And is Britney the new Simon? We're on the set with the new X Factor judge. Then Whitney Houston fans around the world head to see her final performance. So we're asking the question, could Whitney now win an Oscar? Plus, Rihanna in tears with Oprah. It's time for your pop culture fix right here on the Daily Buzz. Shocking allegations from Hope Solo directed at her former Dancing with the Stars partner, Max Chermakowski. I'm Dylan Howard and welcome to the Daily Buzz. The accusations are very serious. Inside the Olympic gold medalist's brand new book, Solo, a memoir of hope, the soccer great doesn't hold back when describing heated dance rehearsals with Max. She paints him almost like a monster. So, now, will Max fight back? Let's bring in our news director, Andrea Simpson, here in the studio. Andrea, you've been following this story all day. Has there been any reaction from Dancing with the Stars, the show?
There's actually been no reaction. We reached out to them for comment and ABC had no comment.
Why do you think that they're not commenting on something like this?
I think these are not allegations they want to address at the moment. At the time, months ago, this did come out in the press about the way he was treating her. Right now, they don't want to address it.
Well, Hope was on the Today Show Thursday and didn't bring up this topic at all. But let's take a look at what she wrote in her book. She said, "He manhandled me in rehearsals from the start, pushing me, whacking my stomach, bending my arms roughly. I thought that was just how it went, how dancers worked with each other." She also wrote things were even worse, noting one day Max was trying to put me in a certain position and hit my stomach so hard with his open palm that I had a red handprint there for the rest of the day. Andrea, that's pretty tough stuff, but at the same time, I must say, it is a physical activity.
Right, exactly. And, you know, there was a lot of talk over the months about the way he treated her, and now with the show coming out, with their All-Star season coming up, the ABC just doesn't want to address these.
So given the nature of the allegations that are being made, has there been any reaction from Max to this?
I did speak with a couple sources close to Maxim, and they said that he was shocked by the allegations. In fact, they had been friends up until their moment on the show ended, and they'd been tweeting each other, and she even invited him to the Olympics.
Right. Well, as you can imagine, these are very serious allegations that are being levelled, but we decided to go back through the archive to have a look at how they actually took place at rehearsals.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The tango's about a love-hate relationship, so it's perfect for Max and I.
I'm just really annoyed. Do it again.
You always are, Max. You're an Go ahead and
And I'm saying you're for calling me that. When these days are over, you wish you
I
had
will not
more
miss
days.
you.
You absolutely will.
I'm not going to miss you.
Well, as you can imagine, those two definitely, seemingly weren't having fun. Well, Max tweeted Thursday, and I got to say, we must assume that this was directed at Hope Solo. This is what he said: "Always hated hypocrites and liars, but when someone is both and an opportunist, I just feel bad for them. Can't win at someone's expense." He also tweeted later on, "Life's best lessons are the ones that you smile through, while they hurt you the most. I'm bulletproof. Fire away." Max is back on the show this season with Kirstie Alley. Andrea, do we think there'll be any of this kind of allegations with Kirstie?
Absolutely not. They got along so well, and they're very good friends. So, no, I don't think that she'll be leveling any sort of allegations against him.
All right, Andrea, thanks very much for following that story all day. Terrific analysis and insight as always. Well, switching gears now to an emotional Rihanna. Let's bring in our executive editor, Joseph Capsch. Joseph, Sunday night, Oprah has Rihanna almost in tears. I want to ask you a question about that, but first let's take a look at this preview of their interview of OWN's Oprah's Next Chapter.
Nobody felt what I felt. Like, so it was...
You hurt the most because it happened?
It happened. It happened to me. And it happened to me in front of the world. It was embarrassing, it was humiliating, it was hurtful. You know, it's not easy.
Now, Joseph, this is the first time we've really seen Rihanna get emotional about that assault levelled against her by Chris Brown. Why do you think that she would want to address these old wounds?
Just before we get to that, Dylan, though, I have to just ask you that part about Max and Hope almost sounded like an excerpt from 50 Shades of Grey as we were listening to the show in the New York office. But
I know that 50 Shades of Grey is on your bedside table, Joseph.
Okay, back to a more serious matter. No, so as far as Rihanna and Chris, I think what it is she hasn't really truly gotten any closure on this, because this was what she considered, Chris to be the love of her life, and she had to go through this very unfortunate incident between them in front of the entire world.
Interestingly, though, she addresses this at a time when speculation about her relationship with Chris Brown has hit fever pitch. What do we know? Are the pair still talking?
We don't have confirmation of that, but there is signs point to that there is indeed communication between the two of them. They did collaborate, obviously, on those 2 tracks that caused a lot of controversy between, amongst fans on the internet. Her dad actually came out and publicly supported the idea of a reconciliation between the two. So clearly there is communication, but I think they're dipping their toe into the proverbial pool slowly to see, I think before they kind of come out public. I mean, I think it's very clear that there's still love between these two, and she still loves him very deeply.
Do we know anything else about what she tells Oprah?
I think what she does tell Oprah is that everything changed for her in one night, and what she found herself doing is being very protective of him. Like, she knew that in the public eye, after she was beat so brutally and the pictures went public, that she couldn't obviously stay with him in the moment. But this was a person who she obviously loves and needed, as she described it, needs help. So basically, it was basically her going back and forth in her mind, not being able to register what had happened to her, and not even only that internally, but going through it in front of all of the fans, all of the media, that it just became, as she described it, a circus. She couldn't even wrap her brain around what was going on.
All right, let's move on to another topic. Britney Spears, who will make her own mark on a reality show next month. The X Factor debuts September 13, and by the look of this promotional clip, Britney is about to show us a very different side.
I want to know who let you on stage.
So far, everything has been so much fun for all of us. Me and the judges, everything is like a new experience for me. So it's a lot of fun, and the talent has been amazing. I feel like my judging style is very subtle. I try to use constructive criticism.
You made my day. I felt like I had a connection with you the moment you started singing.
Well, when I watch that, Joseph, it has me asking the question, is she edgier, or is she just being well produced for television?
Well, the Britney fan in me says she's edgier, and but the media journalist says, I believe she's being well produced for TV. And actually, what I can share is, sources very close to these negotiations for X Factor. A big sticking point of why it took so long for Britney to finally be signed was that her team, and specifically Jason, her fiance and manager, who has a producer credit, they wanted a lot of creative oversight on the editing of all of Britney's clips. So clearly, yes, there is a lot of editing going on. I do think she's coming out of her shell, so to speak, but she's gone through extensive media training for this job. She clearly, though, exhibits a lot of nervousness still in front of the cameras when she's doing these kind of group interviews. But what we've seen so far on the promos, I have to say, I mean, it'll make people tune in and watch. I mean, it looks like great TV so far.
It will. I'm looking forward to September 13, very much so. Joseph, as always, thank you very much for your analysis there from New York City. For more on the Hope Solo accusations and to take a look at the new X Factor clip of Britney Spears, head on over to the website celebbuzz.com, and feel free to share your thoughts on the day's headlines using our Twitter hashtag #TheDailyBuzz. When we come back, finally, Whitney Houston fans can watch her sparkle performance. But is it good enough to win an Oscar? We'll answer that question. But first, the boy band 98 Degrees reunited after a decade with a performance this morning on The Today Show.
You're not around.